Louisiana Senator John Kennedy is here, who was at that hearing today. He's also the author of the upcoming book, How to Test Negative for Stupid. I love the title. Senator, I can't wait to read your book. Was the FBI Director Patel, was that fair? Is there any fairness left? I don't know. But what of that today?
Well, I was there. Unfortunately, Maura, the hearing did turn into a bit of a goat rodeo. Some people obviously need a shock collar. Here's what I saw based on Mr. Patel's and the FBI's conduct with respect to the assassination of Mr. Kirk. And Senator Welch and Senator Durbin and I must not have been saying the same thing. I saw an FBI director, Kash Patel, and the FBI working with the Utah state and local law enforcement officials catch an assassin within 33 hours. They caught Mr. Kirk's assassin within 33 hours. I also watched Mr. Patel and the FBI working with state and local law enforcement officials in Minnesota catch the assassin who killed the state legislators and their spouses in Minnesota. That's what I saw, and that's why I told Kash today I congratulated him. You can nitpick and say, well, what you said wasn't accurate, and why'd you do it? Kash himself said, yeah, I said a couple of things early on when I was before we had every fact, but he said I was leaning toward transparency. Had he not said enough, they would have said you're not being transparent. So, look, Maura, this is all, so much of this is political. President Trump is the President of the United States. Kash Patel is the Director of FBI. Some people are not happy with that, but it's just a fact, and they need to drink a big old tall glass of get over it and move on. Those are just the facts.
Well, Senator, the fact that their FBI was in the process of falsifying affidavits at the FISA court, they didn't seem to have any problem with that. But one verbal, slip up, if you're going to call it that, or he should have phrased it differently, that's crucify him for that. You're right. It's just total theater. Senator, I'm dying to get your reaction to something else, because we talked about those text messages between the suspect in Kirk's murder and his roommate/romantic partner. Now, here's how one reporter at ABC is describing them. Watch this.
It was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who is transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love.
Senator Kennedy.
Once again, some people need a shock collar. Touching? The guy just murdered another human being. And he's talking about it to his love interest. It reminded me of something my dog would bring up. Touching? The guy murdered a human being. I try to be tolerant of other points of view. I really do, but that wasn't touching, and no fair-minded person can call it touching.
Yeah, Senator, they spent years dehumanizing Trump and dehumanizing his supporters and boosters like Charlie Kirk, but they humanize the assassin and his roommate. Touching and intimate.
Yes, and some of this is the fault of the media. A lot of it is the fault of social media, or in my opinion. Let's face it. Social media has lowered the cost of being an a-hole. People do things on social media that they would never do to each other's face. And it's become just rage bait. I don't have a solution to it yet. We can talk about that another time, but that's a big part of the problem.
Senator, thank you very much. Congratulations on the new book, How to Test Negative for Stupid, which everyone in Congress obviously needs to read. Senator, thank you.